Many of you guys have been eagerly anticipating the release of Arken Age on PSVR2, and amidst the wave of positive hands-on first impression videos, a promising feature list and a decent amount of hype since last year, now that the game is finally out, is it really everything you have hoped for? Let's find out. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome if you're new. Today we're talking about the first major PSVR2 release of 2025, Arken Age. First, do me a favor, if you still haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, and there is a very good chance you haven't, please consider doing so, it would mean a lot to me if you do, and also hit that like button to help push the video out to more people. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, it's a combat action-adventure fantasy game developed and published by Vitruvius Technologies and is priced at $39.99 USD/Euros. And if you live in the UK, I apologize, I don't have the official pricing yet, but it should be similar. So let's start answering the question that made you click on this video. Is Arken Age worth it? Does it live to the hype? Is it a masterpiece? Well, let's see. Graphically speaking, the game looks alright. It's not the best looking game I've seen on PSVR2, but it's also not the worst either. This is objectively speaking, by the way. I'm not considering the art style when I say that the game looks alright, because if I was, I would flat out say that the game looks ugly. Mainly because I'm not into the art style of Arken Age at all. I tried to like it, I really did, but I just couldn't. There is something about it that just turns me off. I don't know what is it, but it just looks very generic to me, as if it was made by AI, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I understand that this is going to be very subjective and that some people might love the art style of Arken Age. So I'm gonna try to keep it as objective as I can. So objectively speaking, the game looks alright. Does it look insane like some people are claiming? No, I don't think so. The resolution is definitely high enough in both modes. It's not the sharpest looking PSVR2 game out there, but you can see basically everything from a distance. So no complaints when it comes to the sharpness. The textures are high quality, the HDR effect is definitely there, the Mura is non-existent, and of course the game will look much better without the reprojection, aka in its performance mode, which is 100% the recommended mode by the way. The quality mode does offer an advantage, and no, it's not the resolution. I'll talk about it in just a second, but overall, I highly recommend the performance mode. It is the best way to experience the game, either on PS5 or on PS5 Pro. And although I did not try the game on PS5 Pro, given what Vitruvius has told us about the resolution boost in both modes on the Pro console, I'd still expect the performance mode to be the recommended mode. But getting back to the graphics side of things, the game looks sharp enough, with tons of colors and details. But unfortunately, the image quality is not great. There is a lot of pop-in, and especially a lot of aliasing. And this goes for both modes by the way, albeit it's a little bit better on the quality mode. This is the advantage that I just told you about. But generally speaking, the aliasing in both modes is honestly unacceptable. You can see it all the time, and while I'm not very sensitive to aliasing, so it doesn't bother me that much personally, I know it can be very distracting to a lot of people, and that's why I hope the developer is seriously looking into this. There is not much to be said about the sound design, the soundtrack, the music, the sound effects, etc. in Arken Age. Everything sounds very generic to be honest. Nothing stays with you, like I played this game for about 15 hours, and I kid you not, the only thing I remember hearing is
I thought I heard something. I thought I heard something. I thought I heard something.
that's it. That's the one single thing I remember hearing during my entire playthrough of Arken Age. That same line, which to be fair, I can't not remember it when every enemy I face in this game said it to me at least once. So yeah, that tells you everything you need to know about the audio. And if you thought that that's the only thing that is repetitive in Arken Age, well, think again, because I assure you the gameplay can also be very, very repetitive. That doesn't have to be a bad thing per se if the gameplay loop is good enough, which it definitely is. But still, you'll be doing the same thing in Arken Age over and over again. You'll be killing the same types of enemies, climbing the same trees, visiting nearly the same locations, etc. etc. The good news is, like I said, the gameplay loop is really good. And if there is one thing that saves Arken Age from being a complete disaster for me, it would be the gameplay. This is what proves to me that Vitruvius is a very talented studio and that they can do much better than this. The freedom of movement, traversal, gunplay, swordplay, crafting, and weapon modification are all very well done. It's obvious that the developers focused on perfecting the gameplay, and for the most part they succeeded. What's also great about the gameplay of Arken Age is that you can play it however the hell you want. If you want to play as Jin Sakai, you got it. If you want it to be a first-person shooter, you can also do that. If you want to be stealthy, then by all means, go for it. I love it when video games give you the option to play just the way you want, and in this area, I take my hat off to Vitruvius. Another thing that I really appreciated about Arken Age is the implementation of all the PSVR2 features, and when I say all, I mean literally all. The haptic feedback and adaptive triggers are amazing. Thanks to the stellar implementation, all weapons feel incredible. The eye tracking is superb, and the headset feedback is a nice addition. So once again, well done to Vitruvius for taking the necessary time and effort to optimize for PSVR2. Alright, now that I talked about the exciting stuff in Arken Age, I'm gonna take a step back and talk about some other things that are way less exciting. As I'm sure you noticed, I haven't mentioned the story yet, and that's for a good reason. There is no story here. I mean, technically there is a story, but it's so lame and so generic that I can't possibly see anyone actually caring about it. And we also have to talk about the story progression system, which is one of the worst I've seen in a while. I mentioned earlier that I finished the game in around 15 hours, well, at least 5 of those hours were spent in vain, just standing there in my room looking for what I was supposed to do next. The game doesn't have a hint system, map, or compass to guide you in real time, so it's easy to feel lost and unsure of what to do next. This is extremely frustrating in VR. So yeah guys, that's pretty much all I can say about Arken Age on PSVR2. To me, this was an above average game, a good game if I'm being a little bit generous. There are certain aspects that I enjoyed, such as the combat, the gameplay in general, and there is some decent replayability value here, by the way. I forgot to mention that earlier. The PSVR2 features, but overall, as a complete package, this was kind of disappointing to me. The game just felt very generic, like it has no soul.
Maybe these Nara will be immune to the scourge from birth. Further incubation will be required in the weeks to come. Mannix, out.
So, is it worth buying for $39.99? I think it's a tough sell. For $29.99 though, maybe. I think it would be worth buying at that price. But that's just me. I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you're going to buy Arken Age on PSVR2 or not, or if you're going to wait for a sale. If you're coming from the future, be sure to let me know what was your experience like with Arken Age. Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was a masterpiece? Or are you in the same boat as me? I'm interested to know what you think, so comment below. And that's gonna have to do it for this review guys. If you enjoyed it, if you found it informative, and for more PSVR2 news, reviews, and discussions, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn on the notifications as well. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, take care.